Hey there, guys. I'm moving up in the vlogging world. Look, I've got a cell phone mount for the car. All right, this is a video I've been kind of thinking about making for a while, and things have just been so hectic. I really haven't got around to sort of doing it. So my days mainly consist of, working till 5 o'clock Monday through Friday, and then as soon as I'm done with work, I go off to the hospital and see little Sadie. So yeah, pretty full day. The weekends are a little more open, but for the most part, though, we still go up there and see Sadie. The purpose of this video really is just to kind of tell you guys about a daddy's perspective, so to speak, from my experience with pregnancy, with Sadie being born, and of course the NICU, which this is mine and Cassie's first baby. So all this is like brand new to us, and we're just, just a completely new experience, really. So, just a couple little things here on the pregnancy and stuff. It obviously became apparent that Sadie was going to be born early. They had tried to make efforts to stop the labor process and all that stuff, but no matter what they tried, there was no stopping. She was coming out. So, when Sadie was born, it honestly was one of the happiest, joyous, and scariest moments of my life, because we knew how early she was, and we knew that, survival rates were kind of iffy, because, she was born at 24 weeks. The fact she was a female, I think, helped as far as the odds. They were kind of stacked against her, but I think being a female did help that, of course. So, the way I would describe the whole room was just complete, utter craziness. Not only did you have me, some of our close family in the room, the labor delivery people in the room, and the NICU people in the room as well. So we had, I was probably guesstimating between 10 and 12 people in the room while she's delivering Sadie. So very crazy. Yeah, so when Sadie was born, that first 5 or 10 minutes was absolutely amazing, wonderful, and terrifying, is how I describe it. I think one of the best things was shortly after she was born, I would say probably within the first 5 minutes, it didn't seem like it was really that long, that somebody from NICU had sort of signaled to us that things were okay. They did like a thumbs up or something like that things were good. They got a tube down Sadie's throat to help her with her breathing. So, once we were kind of assured of that, it was, it kind of, or once that sort of happened, we were more or less a little bit more assured that things were just kind of looking okay. But of course, that we're not out of the woods yet in that case. I mean, she still has a long road ahead of her. Probably, I don't know, I would say 4 or 5 hours after Sadie actually was born, we had went up to go kind of check on her, which I thought was really kind of cool with the hospital. They actually let you go see your baby up there, shortly after delivery. So that was really, really neat. But we gave it some time and stuff. So we did go up there and eventually, check, and got introduced to the whole NICU thing, pretty much very quickly. Now, the NICU experience itself has been, it's been interesting, so to speak, and it's been, it really is kind of like how the delivery was. It was exciting and new and also frightening at the same time. And basically what I mean by the frightening aspect is that Um, the nurses had kind of relayed to us that, it was no surprise to them to see certain things they were monitoring, kind of fluctuate. It's sort of like, these are, such tiny humans, basically, that they did not know how to breathe. They did not know how to do things. They were just, they really weren't sure how to do some of that stuff. So even though it may have appeared like that Sadie was having a hard time breathing or something like that, it's basically translates to her body just wasn't used to it. It wasn't supposed to be out of the womb yet, and to actually know how to breathe. So it's a process of having to sort of, teach or train these little ones how to do stuff because they just really don't know how. The NICU team was very supportive. I mean, incredibly supportive, incredibly reassuring. Any kind of thing that happened, they would assure us that, we've seen this before. This is nothing new. It happens in ones this size and things like that. So, there was a lot of reassurance there. And I mean, I kid you not, that first time that we heard that machine go off, that she was having a bradycardia, which is when her heart rate basically really, really dramatically starts dropping. That was scary. I mean, that really honestly was a scary, scary moment. But anymore, it's almost like it's nothing new. It doesn't surprise us if it does happen. Luckily with Sadie, they don't happen very often. That's something that, you could expect. If anybody ever has a child in NICU, that, things like bradycardias or little apneic spells where they sort of quit breathing. Those types of things can happen. And I'll admit, like I said, first time I saw it happen, I was scared. I didn't, it really does freak you out. So you just kind of get used to it. Like I said, that first 5 or 10 minutes when she was out of the womb and they got got her, the tube down her throat and everything, got her breathing, that was assuring, of course. And they did tell us that, the first week that they're up in NICU is sort of like they call it, I think, the honeymoon phase. And what that means is basically that's how that first week is really going to determine how well they're going to do up there. If they have a rough first week, it may be a rough, time period. If they do pretty decent the first week, then it could be, not too bad for them. So that first week, again, had us pretty scared because we just weren't sure what to expect, and it was so brand new to us and everything. So, but it seems like that first week, she had her ups and downs, but I think that for the most part, she's doing okay. And that's another thing too with having a baby in NICU is ups and downs. Some have called it the NICU roller coaster. I don't know who came up with that term, but it's something that was, that they told us too. It's part of the NICU roller coaster. You can have good days, you can have bad days. And we had real good days where she was gaining weight and doing pretty good. We had bad days where she was just not having it. She was, maybe her oxygen level kept dropping quite a lot throughout the day, or maybe she lost a few ounces. It just depends. I mean, it really does. But for the most part, things usually, if you have a bad moment, a lot of times things will eventually turn around, and they have for us for the most part. If you watch the first month Sadie video, you may have noticed this, you may have not, but when she was first brought to the NICU, of course, she had, the tube down her throat to help her with her breathing. As time went on, they had moved her over to what is called a RAM cannula, which I think it deals more with higher pressures, I believe, is what it was. And, that was a big step for her to get off the tube, which we think that she was never happy with to begin with. And going over this cannula. So we have seen, improvements like that. And we are continuing on seeing improvements like this all the time. You know, whether it's a weight thing or whether it is a ventilator related thing or what. So, you know, definitely things like that are improving. But you may have seen that in that first video, the first month video, where she did go from a ventilator tube to actual cannula. So, but yes, as far as the NICU is concerned, it has been a wonderful and crazy experience all at the same time. But anyways, that's what I wanted to kind of talk about, was just to give you guys a good daddy perspective as far as some of the things that go on up there, how I felt about the whole situation, and you know, just to kind of let you know how, just kind of give you all a little bit of an update as well. So, and expect more updates to come. I do have more things in store to be uploaded to the channel, so you know, keep an eye out for those. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. And we'll see you in the next video.